All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have my first ever interview guest here, Miss Lauren Watkins. She's got her new album coming out October 10th. It's called In a Perfect World. She's got a new song with one of my guys, John Morgan, dropping this Friday, Slippery Slope. How's things going, Lauren?
Things are great. I just noticed the John Morgan poster behind you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Things are good. I'm just gearing up for the album release. It's funny. It's like you finish the music and you feel like, whew, all the work is done. And then you just realize there's so much leading up to it. So
Yep.
that's what I'm going through right now, but it's really fun and really exciting.
Yep. I'm sure it's going fast too. I mean,
Yeah.
that stuff, like, it probably feels taxing to a certain point, but then once you're like through it and the album's out, you're probably like, okay, this is awesome.
Yes, exactly.
The first thing I want to talk to you about is the Grand Ole Opry. I obviously cherish that as a country music fan. I went there for the first time to actually see John back in May, and I felt like I was floating the whole time I was there. It was awesome. But
Yes. Oh my
tell
God.
me tell me about your Opry debut. Obviously Zach Top was the one who kind of told you on stage that you were going to make your debut. So how'd
Yeah.
that go, and how was the Opry debut?
Oh my gosh. Yes, it was, I mean, start to finish, it was awesome. I'm a Nashville native, so I grew up going to the Opry all the time. Like we went on a field trip there at my school. I'd go with my family all the time. My parents, my grandparents all just loved the Opry. And so I've always loved it too. And every country artist wants to play the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not unique for that, but it really was a huge, huge dream of mine. And as things started going, I had a feeling like, okay, hopefully it's going to happen soon. I think we kind of started talking about it as, like this could be a possibility. And when I was on tour with Zach Top, he every night he would have me come up and sing a song for him. So I wasn't that wasn't abnormal to me. So
Right.
I go up to sing the song and then he's like, "Wait, I've got one more thing for you." And I just knew in my heart that's what he was going to say. And
Yeah. Yeah.
he was like, "You're going to play the Grand Ole Opry." And it was so crazy. I mean, one, to get that news was crazy, but to get that news in front of like 5,000 people
Yeah.
it's also crazy. And I did not know what to do. I acted like a total weirdo because I was just totally in shock. And then that day itself was just so special. My whole family was there. My grandmother, who she never gets to see me play shows because she can't really travel. She's
Hmm.
in a wheelchair and it's hard for her to get out of the house. But that show, everybody, my family rallied together and figured out how to get her there. And it was just so special. I could not have asked for a better day and just a better. I was so nervous. And then it's like as soon as I got out there, it was like just total peace.
Hmm.
It
I
was,
felt right at home.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
I mean, yeah, you say like, everybody wants to play the Opry, but I feel like that's not as common, honestly, as like back in the day. But I feel like with you, I can definitely see you being someone that was like, I want to play the Opry, I want to play the Opry. And like
Mhm.
I feel like we just cannot lose sight of the Grand Ole Opry, you know what I mean? Like as we get into like the digital age and kind of as we get into the new age of country music, like we cannot shy away from that thing. That thing is
Yeah.
literally the whole brings it all together.
Yes, I totally agree. And like I think every artist just has different priorities and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Yeah.
a good thing. But I think the Opry to me, it's like that's where the heart of all of it is. And
Hmm.
there's so much changing in the world and so much changing in country music. And somehow every time you go to the Opry, it just feels like you're back in time. And
Yeah.
I hope it always stays that way.
Yeah, I completely agree. You obviously grew up around, or did you grow up in Nashville or were you like
I
outside of
did.
Nashville?
I grew
Okay.
up in Nashville.
So obviously you were probably born singing a song, I would assume. So I mean, how did like your music career come about? Like when did you start singing and when did you say, okay, I want to do this for a career?
Yeah, I pretty much was born singing.
Yeah.
I Yeah, so when you grow up in Nashville, you're like just surrounded by country music, but it's not in a way I feel like people think growing up in Nashville is a lot crazier than it actually is. But the one thing that I try not to take for granted is you really are surrounded by music and country music specifically.
Hmm.
And I have three sisters and my older sister, so I'm the second.
Okay.
My older sister, she picked up a guitar and started singing and writing songs when she was so young. Like I was probably, I don't know, maybe not even talking yet. And
Yeah.
she's always been singing and writing and playing guitar. And I guess I just saw her doing that and quickly followed suit. and figured out I could sing harmony, and I'd sing harmony with her when I was really young.
Hmm.
And we just did it for fun. Like we did it all the time. I remember her bedroom was right next to mine, and I'd go knock on her door when I'd hear her playing her guitar, and I'd be like, "Can I sing with you?" And we would just sing for hours, any song we could think of. And then she'd look up the chords, and we'd just like play and sing. And then we started playing gigs when we got a little older, like old enough to where they weren't like, y'all are children.
Yeah.
We started playing anywhere in town that would let us. We played all the Puckett's locations. We played the corner pub, which they didn't even, the one we played at, they didn't even have live music. We just somehow convinced them to like let us
Yeah.
play. And just anywhere, backyard barbecues, anywhere that people would listen. And it was really just, for me, it was just for fun. Like I didn't think of it like, okay, this is going to be my career. It was just like a fun thing that I did. And then I left and went to Ole Miss for college. Um, and
Hotty toddy.
hotty toddy, yes. And I just kind of thought like I was never going to come back to Nashville. I kind of was just like any kid, I was
Yeah.
like, get me
I
out of
want to
there.
get out.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
need to move on. And the music just pulled at me. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but it was just like something that always weighed on my heart. Like there's nothing else that I want to do. Like when I get out of here, there's nothing else that I'm passionate enough about to do as a job.
Mhm.
And so as soon as I graduated, I came right back and just hit the ground running, started writing and um, playing gigs again anywhere people would listen. And then, long story short, eventually signed a publishing deal and then a record deal. And now here I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's probably, it seems like a long story and like a long time, but it's probably like when you look it back at it, you're like, it seems like just yesterday I was singing at these other places and whatnot. So,
Yes, exactly.
um, that's pretty cool. How was Ole Miss? I know one person that's went to Ole Miss, and I heard it was like just as crazy as I thought. Because I remember when I don't know if you remember this. Are you a football fan at all?
I am. I mean, like I always say, like, I love the culture of football. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what's always going on, but I like to be around it.
Yeah, like I remember College Game Day went there in 2014 when you guys beat Alabama
Katy
and Katy
Perry.
Perry was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll never
that
forget that.
was the first time I'm sitting there. I was like 13 or so maybe at the time, and I'm sitting
Yeah.
there. I'm like, that is college football. That is why I love this stuff. So that was
Yes.
awesome. I'm sure Ole Miss is as crazy as it seems.
Oh, it was awesome. And my parents went to Ole Miss, so I grew up going to the Grove and going to games, and it was never a question for me. Like I was not one of those people that had to like decide where they were
Yeah,
going. It was Ole Miss. I didn't even apply to anywhere else. I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
yeah.
That's where I'm going. And it was awesome. Like I needed that so bad. Like I was very sheltered in high school. I didn't really like I don't know. I didn't really go to parties. And
Mm,
when I went to college, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
this
a
is
whole
fun.
world that I didn't know about. I just like met people and became friends with people that I never would have thought I would meet. And that will last a lifetime. So I
Yeah,
loved it.
that's kind of how I was too. Like once I kind of in high school, I didn't do any partying or anything. I was playing football. And then once I got to college, I was like, this is kind of fun. I'm having
Yeah.
like a great time right now. But now I feel like an
Yeah.
old man. So whatever.
No,
I
I
kind of,
know, me too. And not like I went crazy or anything, but I just was like, oh my gosh, I just met such a range of people that
yeah,
I wasn't around in high
yeah,
school. So,
completely agree. So in regards to the album dropping October 10th, this is your sophomore record, right? I know you released some like EPs and whatnot before your last album, but
yeah, second album.
so your second album's coming out October 10th, In a Perfect World. A couple of the tracks I want to talk about. Definitely Average Joe and Plain Jane. I mean, I've been following you obviously for like over a year now, and now that I like know who Will Bundy is and whatnot, like that song fits you, and I really appreciate when
Oh,
artists like put out a song like that that's like authentically them. Like, okay, I might not be trying to push this song to number one, but this song is very me, and I see that with
yes.
you in this song. So how did that song come about?
Well, thank you. That's
Yeah.
very nice of you to say. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I I wrote down the title Average Joe and Plain Jane a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago. Um, well, it was probably a couple years ago because it was when I first had started dating Will. And I just like, and sometimes this will happen where I'll just write down a title and I don't know what it means or where it's going to go, but I just know there's something there. And I kept it to myself for a long time. And I just knew it was a matter of like, I needed to kind of figure out what it was going to be, and then I needed to bring it to the right people. And so I went on a writing retreat with my sister, Caroline Watkins, and Lauren Hungate and Luke Laird. And those are just three of my favorite people to write with. And I sort of brought them the title, and then I started telling them this story. It was funny, like the week before, Will and were building a house, and we had to go buy our first mailbox.
Hmm.
And it was just such a funny thing. Like we went to Home Depot. I had all of these plans, like oh, it's going to be this beautiful, elaborate mailbox. And then we get to Home Depot and it's like they have the most boring, just like
Just
wood post
plain, whatever.
mailbox.
Plain, literally plain.
And we were kind of like, okay, who even cares about your mailbox anyway? Like we need to just get this done. And what was really just another Tuesday or whatever it was actually such a special moment because we put the numbers on ourselves and we were like, this is our first mailbox. We're probably going to have this for a really, really long time.
Yep.
And I don't know, something about it was just really sweet and special. And so I was telling them this and I was kind of getting emotional about it. And I was like, I get to do all these cool things when I'm on the road and stuff, but somehow like the most special things to me are like picking out my mailbox at Home
Hmm.
Depot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we were just all immediately like, that's the song. And so we just tried to fit as many moments like that into it as we possibly could, like as much color and just clear pictures of what it's like to just be normal. And I love the way the song turned out. I remember we wrote the first verse and the chorus, and then we were all like, okay, now we just can't mess it up. Like we gotta
Hmm.
just um nail it. And I think we did. It's been really cool to see the response on it because I think you're kind of made to feel like a certain song is going to be the one that people react to, but this one has been the one that people have latched onto the most. I
Hmm.
think it's just really
Very
a lot
relatable.
more, yeah, I think it's a lot more relatable than people realize. So
Yeah,
I'm really proud of
especially
it.
with like country fans. Like I feel like that's like,
Yeah.
you know, they either do live that life or they want to live a life like that, you know?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, I really appreciated that track. I like that a lot. I assume, did you write on every song on this album, I assume?
I did. Yeah.
Awesome. I love to hear that. I love when people have, input on every single song on their albums. So please
Same.
don't ever stray away from that.
I don't see
Um,
that happening anytime soon.
um, Another one I wanted to talk about is the one dropping this Friday with John Morgan.
Yeah.
Um, how did that kind of come about? I'll be
Mhm.
honest, I met John earlier this year. I think it was like January or February, and like I was talking to his guitar player. I'm like, his album, he was showing me his album before it came out, and I was like, the album was great and everything. I was like, I feel like he needs to like do a duet. I think that'd be cool because he wrote
Yeah.
obviously If I Didn't Love You, so he
Oh
obviously
yeah.
knows how to write a duet. I'm like,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I feel like that's something he should add to his repertoire. So I'm glad to see that you two linked up on that. So how did that come about?
Yes, I'm so glad to. I'm a huge John Morgan fan. And it's funny, like my duets that I've done in the past, I didn't necessarily write them to be duets. I just kind of wrote them and then thought like, oh, this person would be really cool on this song, or oh, I could hear this being a duet. But this one I specifically wanted to write a duet. And so we wrote it and it was another one of those things that I saved it for a long time and was waiting for the right time and the right person. And I met John through Will, my husband,
Mm-hmm.
and started listening to his music. And I'm like, this guy is freaking awesome. Like I think he's just doing something that I don't see anybody else doing right
Yeah.
now. And also as a person, he's just so cool
Yeah.
and
Nicest,
normal.
chillest dude ever.
Zero ego. He's so down to earth. And I was like, he's the guy. He's the guy for the song. And so it happened so fast. Like we asked him and he was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I'll sing it tomorrow. And he came and sang it. And like literally he could have done it in one take. It was like he started singing and I was like, okay.
This is it. This is no
Ridiculous.
no comment from me. Just do that.
No notes. No notes. So I'm really
That's
excited
awesome.
for that one.
I'm excited for that one. I'm glad that that's coming out before the album. I'm gonna try my best to run some stuff from that or for that, get some eyes on it, and then
Thank you
hopefully
so
that helps
much.
you out with your album. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
um, I do think your album has been like marketed really well. Like the themes of it, the covers of everything. I think it all like goes well together. Like I don't know
you.
who's behind the scenes on that, but they're doing a great job.
A lot
Really.
of people.
And like I also think I was gonna tell you like the way you're first of all, what you do is what I consider real country music. I hope you do as well.
So, oh my gosh,
And a lot of steel guitar and a lot of authentic stuff. And I feel like that kind of like matches like a fall vibe. I think it's a good time for you to drop this album too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you for saying that
Yeah,
because
no,
I feel
dude,
the same way.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I was really, really particular about the imagery around this record because I don't know. I mean, I've always been that way. I love visual stuff. I love being creative in that way, but I don't know. In this record, it's just kind of like I went to another level and
Yeah.
I just really wanted to create this idea of like in a perfect world, that saying is a hypothetical. Like whenever someone says in a perfect world, it's like they're about to describe an imaginary
Hmm.
scenario. And so I wanted all of the imagery to feel like a dream and to feel like it's almost like you're looking into this world that sort of exists. And and then the cool part is you go listen to the songs and it actually is really real life. So it's kind of this
Yeah.
cool contrast that I wanted to create. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
think
for,
you nailed it. I mean, I obviously got like a early listen from Lexi, the link for that, and that was, I've loved it so far. So
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, I'm excited for it. So not to keep asking about Will Bundy, I'm sorry.
Oh, please, we'll
I
talk
did
about them
have a
all day.
question. I did have a question written down for that. I
Ask
just wanted,
away.
he obviously produced it. He's written with you. Obviously, you guys write together. Duh.
Yeah.
But how'd you guys even meet? How'd you guys like run into each other?
Good question. We met through songwriting, believe it or
Oh,
not. We met because so Rodney Clawson, he
hmm.
we sort of give him the credit because I was supposed to write with Rodney and he decided to pull Will onto the right for whatever reason. He was like, "Hey, I'm writing with this new artist. Do you want to come write?" And Will knew my sister. They had known each other for a while through writing. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, I know Caroline. I'll come write with y'all." And so a couple weeks before that, we were at the Songwriters Hall of Fame induction, actually, big fancy event. And neither of us had a reason to be there. We were just plus ones
Yeah.
of our publishers. And so he came up and introduced himself and was like, "Hey, hey, I'm Will Bundy. I know your sister. We're gonna write soon." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I
And
love that. I love that.
yeah, he was just so sweet and confident. Like it took nothing for him to just walk right up to me. And
Gentlemen, good gentlemen.
I know it's very telling. And so, but so then we wrote and we stayed friends for a long time and co-writers. And then one day it just sort of happened.
Yeah, really.
And
Just
then
kind
we're
of,
not friends anymore.
wow. That's awesome though. I think that's cool that you guys like met through your craft. I think that's like,
Yeah,
what better way to do that, you know?
I know. It's a really cool thing to get to share. I
Yeah.
love
Um, I got a couple more things for you.
it. Okay.
Last or second to last thing, who is on your female country music Mount Rushmore?
Ooh, okay. I've never been asked for all female. Let me think about this for a second.
I was wondering how I could kind of twist that up and, but I'll leave a moment
My-
for the female singers here.
Okay, let me think. So definitely Miranda Lambert,
Okay,
Casey
awesome.
Musgraves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Leanne Womack.
Yes. I was
Who
just listening to her songs. I was thinking you're gonna say that for some reason.
else? She's awesome. She's
I
always
love
my
I've
favorite.
never seen her live. I've seen just about everyone I want to see live, but she's one that has gotten away from me somehow. So,
She's so good.
yeah.
Who's the fourth? To go modern, I'm gonna say Lainey Wilson. I'm about to go on tour
Okay.
with her and she
Yeah.
freaking rocks. So
You can't
that's
go
my
wrong with Lainey Wilson. I think
four,
she's
right?
doing going back to that like marketing thing I was telling you about, like I think like she's one of the better marketed artists right now. Like her
Totally.
music and like her brand goes so well with like Wrangler and like all
Yes.
this stuff that she's doing. I'm like, that's just such a Lainey Wilson thing, you know what I mean?
Yes, it's so true. There's nothing that like doesn't fit the picture.
Yeah,
Like it all makes sense.
for sure. Last question for you. What is something in your music that, money or outside influence could never change that you're always going to stick to?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, well, I will say I'm always gonna have a pedal steel in my music.
Yes, thank you. My Instagram bio literally says steel guitar enthusiast. That is my favorite instrument. It's not even close.
I support that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sonically, that's one thing. And then not to, at risk of sounding extremely cliche, like I don't think I'll ever be able to not write about real life
Yeah.
scenarios. Like um, not that I Yeah, I mean, I think that's just always going to be in there. I
Yeah.
can't not do that.
The thing is, like, that probably seems like a commonplace, especially in country, but I really don't think it is. You know what I mean? Like a lot,
Yeah.
I think authenticity's, it's the most common sense answer you could give, but it's like some
Yeah.
people don't do that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I love writing observations and like looking at things and getting inspiration, but like I guess the real life part of it is something that I'm never gonna exclude. That
Yeah.
makes sense. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, those were some great answers. I had a great time talking to you today.
Well, you're a great interviewer. You
Thank
should do
you.
this
Like I
more.
said, this is my first one, but I
You're
wanted to wait
great.
for somebody that like, and I don't mean this to like suck up to you or anything, like someone I really wanted to interview, someone who
Well,
I
thank
actually listened to.
you.
So
That means a lot. And
yeah,
I mean it. This is so great. You should really do it more. You're great at it.
I greatly appreciate that. And I appreciate you taking the time with me today.
Of course. Well, thank you. Thank you for all that you do and all that you say. I appreciate the
Yeah,
support.
absolutely. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.